Morning class, welcome to our English class. And for today's lesson, we will be talking about the four types of sentences. So, okay, class, before we dig deeper into our topic for today, let us firstly read about our learning objectives. So, at the end of the lesson, 85% of the students will be able to first, correctly classify sentences according to their use. Second, properly construct declarative, interrogative, imperative, and exclamatory sentences. Third, promptly read sentences with expressions. Fourth, adequately show teamwork and cooperation through participating in a group activity. So, are you all excited and positive to meet all these learning objectives, class? So, get ready as we unravel our topic for today. So, before anything else, let us first, know and define what a sentence is. So, according to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, a word, clause, or phrase, or a group of clauses or phrases forming a syntactic unit which expresses an assertion, a question, a command, a wish, an exclamation, or the performance of an action that in writing usually begins with a capital letter and concludes with appropriate end punctuation, and that in speaking is distinguished by characteristic patterns of stress, pitch, and pauses. So that's what a sentence is. Okay. Okay, so here are our four types of sentences. First, declarative, second, interrogative, third, imperative, and lastly, we have the exclamatory sentences. So now let us first talk about the declarative sentence. So when we say declarative sentence, the main goal of this type of sentence is to make a statement. It doesn't matter what kind of information it delivers, whether it is a proven fact or a theoretical statement. The only thing that matters is if it declares something. So if it does, it is a declarative sentence. So let us now look at the standard order of words in such sentence is as follows. So we have first the subject plus the verb and then the object, where the subject is usually a noun or pronoun, a person, thing, place, and then the verb is the action or state of being. And the object is any word or multiple of words that are influenced by the verb. So let us have our example. So the girl lost her favorite doll. So where is our subject there? So our subject is the girl, and then lost is our verb, and then favorite doll or her favorite doll is our object. So did you get what I want to tell you, class? So it is very simple, right? Since the girl there, then subject, then the verb and the object. So, and then the sentence ends with a period. So that is the rule of a declarative sentence. It always ends with a period. So remember that rule. Okay, now let us move on to our second type of sentence, which is the interrogative sentence. So, a declarative sentence aims to share information, whereas an interrogative one strives to receive information. So, any sentence that asks a question can be attributed to this category and will always end with a question mark. So, interrogative sentences have a different word order. So, the word order goes with the WH word or how plus the auxiliary verb and then the plus the subject. So we have an example here. Where is Kate? So the where there is the WH word. Like, are you familiar with that word? So that's the what, when, where, or who, right? And then is there is our auxiliary verb, and Kate is our subject. So interrogative sentences are more commonly used in persuasive essays to encourage readers to reflect upon or reinforce the effect of the author's arguments. Okay, so we are now down to the third type of sentence, which is the imperative sentence. So the main goal of these sentences are to tell others to do something, or in other words, give a command. Imperative sentences can end with either a period or an exclamation mark. So you will remember that this sentence, okay, remember the rule, it can either end with a period or an exclamation mark. So the word order and form of such a sentence are different from the other types. It often doesn't have a subject because an imperative sentence by default speaks to the recipient or reader if it is a written text. So generally, such sentences consist of a base verb plus any additional details. So let us have our example. Finish your homework. So when you read the sentence, class, what have you noticed? Right. So it is like calling to action, right? So it encourages the readers to do something. So just like when your teacher would tell you, you finish your project. So your teacher wants you to do something, and that is to finish the said project. Okay, class. So we are now at the last type of sentence, which is the exclamatory sentence. So it is used to express a strong surprise of emotion and always ends with an exclamation mark. Okay? Note that an exclamatory sentence always ends with a question and with an exclamation mark. So here are a couple of examples of how the basic order of words in such sentences might look. Okay, so we have what or the adjective, and then plus the noun, plus the subject, and then plus the verb. Another basic order, we have the how plus the adjective or the adverb, and then plus the subject, and then plus the verb. So let us first have our example. What a wonderful weather. Let me read it again. What a wonderful weather. So this sentence, so the adjective there, okay, wonderful, and then weather is the subject. And then the next sentence, we have how generous you are. So generous there is our adjective, and then you is the our subject. And then are is now considered as the verb. So when we talk about exclamatory sentences, these are great tools for helping your story to become even more vivid, or like you are more descriptive by delivering the right emotions to the reader. Okay, so I am so glad, class, that we are done with discussing all the types of sentences. So now I have here a chart so that we can have a short review or a run through of our discussion. So we have here the four sentence types: declarative, interrogative, imperative, and exclamatory. So the purpose of declarative is to make a statement, interrogative is to ask a question, and then the imperative is to give a command. And then lastly, exclamatory is to form an expression. So the final punctuation mark, the declarative, we have the period, the interrogative, the question mark, the imperative is could either be the period or an exclamation point, and then exclamatory is the exclamation point. So we have now a new set of examples on each types of sentences. So declarative, I am a student. Interrogative, are you a student? Imperative, welcome the new student. And exclamatory, there are so many students. So that would be all, class. Thank you so much for your time in listening in today's discussion. God bless us all.
Created using Powtoon. Created using Powtoon.